What's going on, everybody on YouTube? It's Tony Tornado. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's going to be celebrating Father's Day with their fathers. So in case you don't know by the title of the video, what it's like to have Father's Day without your father. And I've been getting a lot of requests for these videos over the years about my dad specifically, and I've been avoiding it for the longest time. And it's not so much I didn't want to talk about it, it's just more so I'm not a person who really likes to have sympathy because I tend to handle things myself. But one thing that's really interesting about that is, I always seem to handle things on my own, and I'd never really felt like my family was different when we were growing up. We didn't really sure, we celebrated Mother's Day and Father's Day, but it was never really a big deal. And everybody who's a regular on my YouTube channel knows that my dad has passed away years ago. And if you guys haven't already, subscribed to the YouTube channel. We have the series going back right now. We're doing 2 videos a day on the YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe with the notification bell turned on. It's just been interesting, so that's why I'm more so doing this video, because I've been getting so many requests over the years to do videos like this, and I just never really thought I should touch on it. But then it was weird, earlier today I was thinking, well, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do a Father's Day video. So I want everybody to know that with your father, I hope you guys all have a good Father's Day, number one, but with your father, you definitely can have some karma in your life. I do feel like you have your father for a specific reason and a specific time, and I do feel like mine with my dad is over, because he's not here anymore. But it's really interesting. I feel like to answer the title of the video's question, what it's like to have Father's Day without a father. It's just, I feel like he's around all the time. I really do. In spirit, I feel like he's around all the time, even now, so many years later. And I feel like he's just a very different person on the other side. I really do believe that. I feel like he's changed a lot and became a much better person. It's been interesting. My entire life changed when he died. Everything changed. And a lot of people, it's really weird. You ever hear that saying that you get to see the worst side of somebody when something like that happens? Well, that's very true. I saw the worst side in many people around me. It was really weird, because I remember losing my dad, and I just thinking to myself, well, I need to just be stronger, because that's what he would want. And I worked hard, and I got all those jobs, and I worked nonstop. Whereas everybody else, I said in the previous video about dumb hillbilly Ricky and Sarah, they stole all his stuff and tried to sell it. It just, I don't get it. I don't get people sometimes. And I think there's been a big part of me recently that has looked at this whole thing I do on YouTube and has said, you know what? No matter what, I always want everybody to remember every single aspect of me, not just for the series videos, not just for certain vlogs, not anything. I want everybody to remember every aspect of me possible, and not just that. It comes out of my mouth, not someone else's, because that always tends to happen with people. Other people have different opinions and different versions of what they feel is the truth about other people and their life. So I want to make sure people hear this coming from my mouth. But yeah, my dad was a good person. I feel like he worked really hard. He was like a drill sergeant, but I feel like he's a good person now, and he wasn't the worst person in the world. I feel like he tried his best, what I would like to say. I feel like he tried his best with what he was given, because he wasn't really given much to start with, believe it or not. And I feel bad for my dad, and I forgive him for so many things. I just feel like, the record needs to really be straight with my family. That's another reason why I've been doing videos like this, as long it is also like my series. Like my fat ass aunt, for example, coming out here and trying to stop our series and trying to stop our videos, because all she is a fat piece of what, and all she has done my whole life is instigate and try to get everyone in the family fighting, and I can't stand her for it. And most of my family that still live back in Delaware are still going through that crap, and I'm like, man, I've been out here on the West Coast for 7 years and that's still going on. Something interesting. But I want to make sure it comes out of my mouth, because I'm a good person. I really am. Not tooting my own horn, but I'm a good person, and I say what's on my mind, and I say the truth. And a lot of times people don't like the truth. They like sugar-coated nonsense, and that's not me. I've always been a person to tell the truth, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And I really feel like there's a lot of problems with people like my aunt, and people like, and my aunt was a big cause of my parents growing up. Like, I remember that very specifically. I remember one time my dad had his birthday. He took off for his birthday. I'll never forget this. It was like maybe a year before he died. He took off for his birthday, and my aunt came over just to see what was going on. I'm not even kidding. Witnessed it myself. Got in her car in my driveway. Before she started driving down the street, she called my grandmother on the phone and told her, oh, can you believe that he stayed home from work? Can you believe that he stayed home from work? And then my grandma called my mom and was like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that now. He shouldn't be doing that. Money's tight. Like, that's my family. Like, they're just so, I should say extended family. I don't live with any of them anymore, but the reason I'm saying this stuff is because, like, when Father's Day comes up and certain things like that, like, those are the things that kind of come up in my mind a little bit. Like, I'll think about stuff like that, and I'll think, man, I went through a lot of stuff with some really fucked up people. It's interesting because when you grow up with it, you don't really realize how messed up it is. You really don't. You don't realize how messed up it is. And then out of nowhere, like, you'll tell these stories to your friends or family or girlfriends and people of your past, and they're just like looking at you like you're crazy. Like, what in the heck have you been dealing with? So I don't know. It's just it's interesting. Like, that stuff comes up to mind when Father's Day comes around. Like, I know my dad always tried to do stuff for my grandfather, my mom's father, and he was nothing but a piece of shit to my dad. So like, and I don't even care anymore, because this is the way I see it, ladies and gentlemen. My subscribers who've known me for as long as my channel's been up since 2016, you all will remember this about me. You'll remember that me, Tony Tornado, tell the truth. I'm not sugarcoating nothing, and I'm not gonna sit there and hem and haw around things. That's not me. I tell the truth, and I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about, like, voicing honesty, because people don't do that today. A lot of people don't do that. They're really they're not honorable at all. I mean, that's part of the reason why I've said this during many live streams and videos. That's why I don't take many brand deals with companies through YouTube, because I don't feel right promoting something that I don't truly believe in, like most YouTubers will do. Like, they'll promote anything and everything under the sun for some some revenue with the companies and stuff like that. It doesn't really appeal to me. So it's all about authenticity with me and principle. And I know that I've done my best my whole life. I really have. I've tried my best to always be a good person, no matter what the situation was. And my dad, I know he would be proud of me if he was here. I know he would. I know he'd be very proud of what I've done so far. And yeah, that's what I do. I've worked very hard in my young life, very, very hard. I've had many jobs many times at once, worked myself into the ground multiple times, and I refuse to give up. It's just me. And nobody can ever make me give up, no matter what. No matter what measly power they think they possess, they don't have it. Especially not over me, because it doesn't work. I'm just a very good, authentic person. And what I want everybody to remember that watch this video, my fans, is I want you to always try to, if there's one thing I ever want to tell people, is always try to treat every personal interaction the best way you can, from the goodness of your heart. Not because you have to, but because you want to. And that's something I really want to voice my opinion on, for sure. And again, happy Father's Day to everybody who's got a father, man, because you guys should be enjoying that yourself and having some good times with your family while you have them. Be grateful for what you have. And I think everybody should be like that, especially in the times we live in today, because a lot of times I feel like people worry so much about petty nonsense versus what's going on in their own life. Like, what, you change the world by doing small things. You really do. You change the world by doing small things, one step at a time. And I think everybody should really focus on things like that, especially when it comes to, holidays like Father's Day. And, be close with your family. Do the best you can. I want to thank you guys for listening. My name is Tony Tornado. Make sure you subscribe with the notification bell turned on. And I love my subscribers.